Hello and welcome to Forward 40 TV. Oh no! Oh, God, enough! Happy New Year to all of you. Okay, guys, it's time enough. It's time to clean it up.
1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome to Forward 40 TV, the place to be if you want to grow more beautiful and more successful as you age. It's officially the end of the year. And can I say I'm glad to see it go? This has been such a roller coaster of a year. I mean, with the economy and the hurricanes and the crime rates and, well, Trump. It's not such a stretch to feel at times the joke was all on us. But in all seriousness, I know 2017 was hard, really hard. We were scared for our jobs, worried about our kids, penny pinching our money, and God alone knows what else got thrown our way. But in all of it, we made it. Maybe a little bit beat up and bruised, possibly dented in a few areas, but we're here and that's celebration enough. It's proof that even in the hardest of times, there is a little light and a way out, and that everything is doable if you give it a little time, some prayers, and a lot of hard work. If you're watching this while you're cooking or cleaning or doing something else, I want you to stop. Yeah, I said stop. Stop whatever it is you're doing and wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a great big hug. Go ahead, do it with me. Yeah, you deserve this. You are strong and you are beautiful and you are enough. And it's time you appreciated you. As we close off this not so great year and welcome the new one, hopefully it's a better one, it's time to take our priorities, our finances, fears, and resolutions and put them through the ringer. And on today's show, we're going to help you do just that. If fear is stopping you from making 2018 your best year ever, we're going to help you get through it. If you find yourself making resolutions year after year that you never keep, we're going to help you get through it. And if you're looking for ways to grow your money and make it work for you, well, we have just the woman you need. Maria Daniel is a senior partner at Ernst & Young and loves coaching small businesses. She's also someone I really admire and she's my friend. When we come back, I'll ask Maria for her top tips for getting your accounts in order in time for the new year. And if you are a business owner, how to find the money to fuel your passion. Stay tuned.
Thank you for calling Republic Bank, where homeownership has never been easier. How may I help you today?
Hi Maria, great to see you. I'm here to ask you 40 questions in a very short amount of time. Ready?
I'm ready when you are. Let's go.
What's the coolest thing about crunching numbers?
It tells a story.
What?
Know whether you're a success or failure from the numbers.
What advice would you give to someone who hates crunching numbers?
Just do it. That's my best advice.
What's the best personal decision you make on a monthly basis after you look at the numbers?
Paying off my credit card every month, that interest is a killer.
Maria, here's a tough one. Does 1 and 1 always equal 2?
Lots of people would like to believe it can equal 3, but it's always 2.
It sure is. The bank just upped my credit card limit. Should I say yes or no?
If you're disciplined, say yes. If not, turn it down.
I'll have to remember that. 5 credit cards, is that too much for someone to have?
Financial nightmare.
How about 3?
Much better.
Maria, which is better to use every day? Credit card, debit, or cash?
Well, free credit is always good, but it depends on your personality. If you know that you can't have the discipline to pay it off when it's due, then go for cash. But really and truly, the best option is a combination.
Talking about options, when someone is on a budget and it's a recession, can that person really save?
Of course, if you separate the needs from the wants, you can always save.
So how much of your salary should you save?
That depends on many things. Your personal lifestyle, how many dependents you have, your borrowings, but at the end of the day, set a goal and stick to it. That's not easy though, is it?
No, it's not. Which is more important, spending on things or experiences?
Experiences. Feeding your mind and soul will always be better than a pair of shoes sometimes.
I can see why that would be a tough choice. What's the worst rainy day you've had?
Is there ever really a rainy day? I just view it as another experience.
And the best investment you've ever made?
My education.
Oh, Maria,
You've caught me at the end of the day, so I'm gonna pack up. Why don't you join me for some coffee?
I would love to. But before we go, Maria, here's a question from Desi.
Hi Maria, I'm 45 and I just got remarried. Should I open a joint account with my husband or should I keep things separate? I earn more than him, by the way.
Good question, Desi. Joint accounts should only be for a special purpose for shared expenses. Other than that, what is yours is yours.
At 45, Maria, what is the one thing that a woman should own to feel financially secure?
Her choices.
What's the one thing about money that people don't really understand?
It disappears.
What is the one thing about money that people get?
We all need it.
What's the one mistake people make with their money?
They make it a priority.
Maria, I hear you are something of a business coach. What does it feel like to rescue entrepreneurs from failing?
Working with entrepreneurs who put their blood and sweat into their business ideas and seeing that work, that's about the best part and the most rewarding part of my job.
What happens when you can't?
Can't is not a word I understand. If it doesn't work out, we dust it off and we try all over again.
What should businesses large and small understand about a recession?
Well, 2 things really. A recession is a self-fulfilling prophecy. That means if all you think about a recession, you'll end up in recession. But you should also think about, is this going to be the new norm? So take the time to re-engineer, restructure, and get your business in better shape.
Isn't it funny how we sometimes perform best when we have no choice, Maria? Funny and sad, but is there such a thing as a silver lining in a recession?
Of course there is. It's called opportunity.
Can a business grow during a recession?
Definitely. Some people thrive on it.
What's the one thing a small business should do during a recession?
You should really focus on, this could really be the long haul. So you need to really think about, what do I need to do differently? And can I survive in the long run?
That's a scary thought, surviving. Is a bad economy the right time to launch a good business idea?
A good business idea is a good business idea. It doesn't matter the economy, it doesn't matter the environment. If you have a good business idea, it will work.
What's the one thing, Maria, you still have from your childhood?
Every single card ever given to me by anybody.
And your favorite book from childhood?
That would be Famous Five. I love investigations and solving mysteries. In fact, from that book, I thought I was going to be an FBI agent.
Maria, what's the best part about being a mom?
That is a gift. I just love being a mom. All of it, good and bad.
What advice do you give to your 3 girls about money?
Don't spend what you don't have.
What book do you recommend people read to get smarter about money?
I'm not a big fan on financial books, so I'll give the 30-second advice. Find something you love, work hard at it, and the money will come. And when it does, do not take it for granted.
Great advice, Maria. What country have you ever visited that you'd love to go back to?
Italy.
What was your favorite thing to do there?
I love the history, I love the architecture, but of course, doing all that while drinking a glass of wine, eating gelato, And watching the fine male specimens, of course.
And they are fine. What's the one country you'd love to visit?
Thailand.
Oh wow, I'd love to go there too. How should I budget for it?
Well, first of all, think of the timing. That can really change an expensive to cheap trip. Best time, September. Then look for all the packages. Look for Airbnb. It's really much easier and cheaper to travel now. So set your goals, set your budget, and go for it.
It's 2018, Maria. What resolutions have you made?
Never to be late again.
And your top resolution about money?
Invest more and wiser.
What's the one small financial change that women can take or make to create a big impact in their lives in 2018?
Own it.
On a scale from 1 to 5, how happy are you right now, Maria?
4.65.
If your life was a song, what would the title be?
There ain't no valley deep enough to keep me down.
What's the best way to decompress?
I would have to say swim in the ocean.
What would you like to be remembered for?
My fearlessness and my positivity.
And my final question, Maria, if you had to give your 16-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Apart from studying for A levels, I would say just love who you are.
Indeed, Maria. Thanks so much for answering our 40 questions. One more thing. I'm booking you for an appointment in January, so see you soon.
I'll pencil you in. Bye, Juliet.
Bye, Maria.
Imagine being able to earn more. Imagine getting the chance to live more. Imagine living a life where you can see more. Imagine you with JMMB, your best interest at heart.
Hello and welcome back to Forward 40 TV. If you're just tuning in, I'm Judette, and this episode is all about getting you ready for tomorrow, January the 1st, 2018, the start of the new year, and hopefully it's a better one. If you've been keeping up with the news this year, there was one constant theme that stood out: fear. It showed up almost everywhere you looked, and in the most dangerous places of all, inside of you. If fear has hindered you in any way this year, you are not alone. I think most of us would agree that we've given fear a little much, too much of our time and personal real estate, and that it's time to kick that to the curb. Whether that fear was about your business, achieving your goals, or your job and your health, let's make 2018 the year when we say no more fear. What I know for sure is that indecision is a decision. I'm not talking about the period that I like to call the think time, where you look at something back to forth and upside down, where you permit doubts and fears to crowd your brain, but you also look deeply at the opportunities that your decision can bring. Instead, I am talking about letting that thinking time go on for so long that you wallow back and forth and get knee-deep in decision paralysis. You know what I'm talking about, right? You have to make a decision about your career and you don't. You have to decide whether you should move on from the person that causes you pain and you don't. Heck, figuring out what to cook for dinner or even the color to dye your hair mires you down in too much deliberation. Let me quickly share a conversation I had with a very dear friend some years ago. At the time, I decided I would take out all my life savings from the bank and purchase a small apartment in New York City. Now, remember what I said? My life savings. So it meant that if I did, my account would go down to a big fat zero. So my friend, upon hearing my decision, asked, "What makes it so easy for you to take risks, Judette? Aren't you afraid?" And of course I responded that I was afraid. At times I was very, very afraid. But those feelings never prevented me from having a deep conversation with my fear. In fact, I never disregard fear at all. All I do is open the door, invite fear in for a moment into the passenger side of my brain, and I ask, what if? For instance, in relation to purchasing the apartment in New York City, all I said to fear was, what if I have a place of my own in a big city where I could go for inspiration and replenish my creativity? Fear immediately got busy. It told me about being penniless and not having an emergency fund to rely on, and about New York City being a big scary place for a woman on her own. But then I told fear, what if I could rent out this potential space to my friends and even strangers during the times I was not there? I reminded fear that I would not be alone because I made friends easily and I could rely on a small circle of friends or people that I already knew in the city. Fear had no more arguments left, and I opened the door and I allowed it to move from the passenger side of my brain to the back seat of my mind. I wasn't going to allow fear to sit next to me anymore. Here is today's teachable moment. The most amazing thing about asking the what if question is that it will teach you to suspend all negative patterns of thinking and get you into an imaginative frame of mind, which will give you the confidence to take significant steps towards your goals. From the moment you do that, you'll see you begin to craft your own path to radically strengthen your ability to make clear decisions. You will save so much time, stress, and wasted energy as you begin to live life on your own terms. No more decision paralysis. Yes, even at your age.
Fall in love with life again. At the place memories begin. An enchanted place with much to share. Come celebrate life's moments here. Get it all at the falls. That's West Mall. That's West Mall. Get it all at the falls. Feel the joy and step inside. A sharpish dream is what you'll find. And all your life you will recall your special moments at the falls. Get it all at the falls. That's West Mall. That's West Mall. Get it all at the falls. Get it all at the falls at West Mall.
Before the break, we asked you to say no to fear, and now there's one more thing we'd like to add to that list. Saying no to not following through. You know, right, what I'm talking about? Your New Year's resolutions. Every year, you go through the same drill. When it comes to January the 1st, it comes ringing, you begin to promise yourself things like losing weight, eating better, spending less, finding love. The list goes on and on. Today, we're going to put an end to that because we're about to let you in on one simple reason why your New Year's resolution never works, and help you come up with 7 resolutions that don't cost a thing, but will make your life just so much better. Take a look. False hope syndrome. It's a thing, and it's about to ruin your New Year's resolution. Turns out, there is a reason you start out January pumped and end up midway into February back to where you started. It's called, of course, false hope syndrome, and it boils down to this. The main reason you're not sticking to your resolution is because you set way too many and they're too unrealistic. We're overly ambitious and way underprepared. Like, let's take losing weight. It's a big goal, and because it's so big, you're less likely to keep up with it. But what if your New Year's resolution was something smaller and much more attainable, like running a mile a day? That's just about 10 minutes of running. But if you really stopped and think about the bigger picture, that's actually 365 miles, the same as 10 whole marathons that you'll be running over the span of the year. And calories? Well, if you burn an average of about 135 calories per mile of running, that's 49,275 calories, 14 pounds down. Just like that, weight loss is achieved. To help you save time, money, and the usual post-January frustration, here are 7 easy and most importantly, free resolutions that will make your life just so much better. Get your head out of your digital black hole and give tech a timeout. Start small. Carve out a few hours in your day, whatever time frame works for you, and get off the grid. Turn your phone off, or you can put it on silent if that's too hard. Unplug your iPad or your laptop, your TV, your iPhone, your tablet. Don't forget the iWatch and whatever else you might have lying around the house, and use that time to do something for you. Run, you can cook, you can read, you can chat with a friend, study. Basket weave for all I care. Just make use of the precious time, because once the hour is up, it's back to business again. Drink a little bit more, and that is water, of course. The concept is simple. More water in means more water out. So while it might sound counterintuitive, if your body holds on to water way, the only way to fix it is to drink more of it. Yes, you'll pee a lot, but you'll also get rid of toxins and hydrate your skin, and it will help with your digestion, it will boost your metabolism, energize your muscles, help your kidneys, and so much more. If you're not a fan of drinking plain water, trust me, infusing it with fruit or lime or mint or cucumbers. You can even set an alarm every hour to remind yourself to have a glass. Give your green thumb the green light. If you don't have too much space, try something small like a herb. You can grow flowers, or you can grow something resilient like an aloe vera plant. If you've successfully managed to grow flowers, for instance, the next step is to bring it inside. All you have to do is collect a bunch of leaves along with the flowers and arrange them into a vase, and voila! If health and fitness is your main goal for the year, then it's time to consider cutting down on the sweet stuff. And yes, you can have the occasional muffin or cookie, yummy, but really try to limit your daily sugar intake. And we're not just talking about the obvious stuff like chocolates and ice cream and soda. These days, there's sugar in all kinds of things that are supposed to be good for you, but really, they're not. Like low-fat yogurt and barbecue sauce and fruit, granola, yep, there's sugar in there, chocolate milk, iced tea, protein bars, cereal, and even the pasta sauce you're using all have way more sugar than you need. So before you buy something processed, you might want to read the label on the back. Another way to get a grip on things is to begin each week with a plan. First, write down everything you have to do, then break down the big things into smaller, actionable steps and schedule them into your weekdays. If you want, you can get even more detailed and work them in by the hour. If your goal is to live a more fulfilled life, try starting a happiness journal or gratitude jar. It sounds more complicated than it is, but it's basically committing to writing down every day something that you are thankful for. It can be something big, like of course your recent promotion, or something small, like remember the fast food lady who gave you an extra helping of fries, or finding a spare $20 bill in your pants. It helps you be more grateful and more mindful and appreciative of what you have, and stops you from focusing on what you might not have. It's also a great way to look back at the end of the month and remember the little things that made your day so much better and richer. Finally, have more sex. Not only does it feel damn good, but having regular sex can do wonders for your body. It's good for your heart, relieves pain, reduces stress, improves the quality of your sleep and your mood, and can even help you look a little bit younger. I don't think you might need any more convincing. And that's about it for your cheap, free, and totally achievable New Year's resolution.
Jane. Jane is burning fat as we speak. Just adding dairy skimmed milk to her daily routine gives her the calcium she needs to burn calories more efficiently all day long. Plus, with a low-calorie diet and exercise, it helps her burn more tummy fat. So Jane not only looks better on the outside, but she feels pretty good too. Get the better benefits of milk with dairy skimmed milk. Dairy, the milky milk.
We had so much fun putting that together, and we hope you will have even more fun sticking to them, especially the last one. If resolutions aren't your thing, then I want you to promise yourself this instead. Promise yourself to be braver, happier, more forgiving, more caring to yourself in 2018. That's it. A personal vow to practice self-love and self-acceptance that only requires you to be a bit more kind to yourself and mindful of others. And with that, lovelies, we are signing off for the last show of 2017. It has truly been an incredible journey to launch Fall 40 TV with all of you. Here is 2018 and a better, more beautiful, more inspired you. Until next week, bye. I love you all. Cheers. Can somebody stop pinging me? Enough already.